All right, let's jump right in. Today, we've got a story from the tech world that's, well, it's got all the twists of a thriller. We're going to talk about the incredible rise and the even more incredible collapse of an AI company called Bumbox. And honestly, this quote right here just says it all, doesn't it? It captures that whiplash perfectly. I mean, going from whispering of innovation to the clamor of a collapsing enterprise. Wow, that's not just a product fail. That's a total, complete breakdown of trust. And that's exactly what we're going to dig into. Okay, so let's set the stage here. You got to understand, Bumbox wasn't just some random startup. No. This company was a titan, a celebrated name in the AI world. And now it is hanging on by a thread, facing a crisis that's attacking the one thing it can't survive without: trust. And that really brings us to the central dilemma, the huge question mark hanging over everything. Think about it. If your entire business model is built on people trusting your advice, what on earth do you do when that trust is just gone, vaporized? It's a terrifying question, and for them, it's not hypothetical. But to really get the impact of the crash, you first have to understand just how high this rocket flew. So let's hit rewind for a second. Let's look at what made Bumbox such a big deal, such a revolutionary idea to begin with. So the whole thing actually started from a place of personal failure. The founders, Sarah Chen and Marcus Rodriguez, they'd been through the startup ringer themselves and failed. So they had this big idea. What if we could build an AI crystal ball to stop other entrepreneurs from making those same painful mistakes? It was such a powerful vision, right? To save startups from ruin. And for a while, man, it really seemed to work. The tech world couldn't get enough of them. So, what was their secret sauce? What made them tick? Well, it wasn't just about crunching numbers. That was the magic of it. They took all the usual stuff, market dynamics, machine learning, and they mixed it with these softer, more human elements. Things like behavioral economics. And, get this, a concept they actually called founder DNA. They were literally trying to analyze the personalities, the strengths, the gut instincts of the founding team. This blend of machine intelligence and human intuition, that's what made them a household name in the industry. But, well, as you probably guessed, this is where the story takes a really dark turn. Because deep inside that shiny, celebrated crystal ball, something was going wrong. A deep, systematic flaw was growing, like a virus in the code. And it was about to lead to a betrayal of epic, company-destroying proportions. So, what was this fatal flaw? It all comes down to two words: algorithmic bias. Now, it's super important to understand this isn't just a random glitch or a bug. No, this is a systematic problem. It's when the algorithm itself is built in a way that consistently, repeatedly produces unfair results for certain groups over others. And in the case of Bumbox, those results were absolutely catastrophic. And how did this all come to light? A whistleblower, a former lead data scientist, Dr. Amanda Park, leaked a trove of internal documents. She was on the inside. She saw what was happening. And her expose painted a really, really damning picture of the malfeasance going on behind the curtain. And this is where it gets truly devastating. This wasn't just some academic debate about code. This had real-world, life-altering consequences. The algorithm's bias was actively steering hopeful, trusting entrepreneurs directly into financial ruin. The ultimate tragic irony, right? The very company created to save startups was now the instrument of their destruction. Which brings us right up to today. The company is, for all intents and purposes, on fire. The leadership is backed into a corner, staring down a monumental choice. They're at a crossroads with 4 possible paths forward, and honestly, every single one of them is terrifying. Okay, let's look at their options, because they are stark. Option 1, rebuild. Go for full radical transparency. Re-engineer the whole thing. But the big question is, can you ever really win back that level of trust? Option 2, pivot. Just abandon the core product and try to do something else. But that's a massive gamble against time. Option 3, acquisition. Try to get a bigger company to buy them out. Good luck finding a buyer willing to take on that much reputational baggage. And the final bleak option, dissolution. Just shut it all down. As you can see, there are no good choices here. Every single path is just loaded with risk. So I want you to just pause for a second. Seriously, put yourself in that boardroom. The future of the company, all those jobs, the investors' money, it's all on your shoulders. What's your call? Rebuild, pivot, sell, or fold? It's a heavy, heavy decision. There is no easy out. And this is why this case matters so much. Because this isn't just about one company's spectacular failure. No, the story of Bumbox is a huge, flashing red warning light for the entire tech industry. It's a cautionary tale for literally anyone and everyone who is building, investing in, or using AI. Because the fallout here really forces us to ask some tough questions, doesn't it? How do we actually tackle AI bias before it causes this much damage? How does a company even begin to survive a total crisis of credibility? It shines a massive spotlight on things like ethics and algorithms, corporate responsibility, and just how monumental the task is to rebuild a reputation in a world that never, ever slows down. So, in the end, the story of Bumbox is more than just a case study. It's a stark warning. As we race to build our future on the logic of algorithms, it forces all of us to stop and ask a really fundamental question. How do we make sure that in our quest to innovate, we don't accidentally build our own abyss?